This episode of That Mental Ginger Show is brought to you by the Thomas the Tank Engine Man documentary. Watch Nick Jones's amazing BBC documentary, which was first aired in 1995, about the Reverend Wilbert Awdry and the Thomas the Tank Engine series. The documentary is out on limited release and copies are selling out quickly. I should know, I just got one myself. To purchase a DVD, Blu-ray or on-demand copy, please go to www.quantafilms, that's Quanta Films, all one word, .co.uk. There are also two charming mugs quoting the Reverend W. Awdry himself. However, these are very limited, so they will sell out fast. Thank you to Quanta Films and Nick Jones in particular for being our very first sponsor. I really do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the show. On today's episode of That Mental Ginger Show, we are talking to the unbelievably talented AQ the singer. AQ is actually the nephew of another guest that has been on the show, Jean-Va Venn. So at this point, I could already tell that there was going to be greatness in this conversation. And sure enough, he delivered. I also came up with a potential spin-off series for him. But what was that series? Watch the episode and find out.
All right, troops.
AQ, good things come to those who wait. I finally got you on the podcast. How you doing, my man?
I am doing amazing. How are you?
Yep, I am good. I've been having a good spell and I am just running with it. Well, I've seen that you've been on your come up like Cardi B, as they say.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've seen some of your work that's been going on. It is, does the kids say fire these days? It's fire, isn't good.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
cool.
Yeah, right, definitely.
Because remember, I'm a middle-aged white guy. I don't know things.
Right. My bad,
So I need
to get educated.
Definitely, it's one of the reasons why I do this podcast, to educate myself on on every level. Well, but enough about me and my education. We're here to talk about you, and AQ the singer. I want to hear about your origin story, because the one thing we all have in common, we all have an origins. So for my faithful followers, AQ, please tell us your origin story.
All right. Well, like any great origin story, like Peter Parker or Spider-Man, it started as a young boy, young kid, growing up with his grandparents who came from the islands of Haiti. I grew up around my grandfather. He introduced a lot of music to me, and the greatest importance of music that I learned was compa music, which is like the French Creole and the jazz infused island music. And from then on, I got exposed to guitar, piano, and singing. And I'd be young, in my boxers, young kid, just taking a microphone and just singing any song that was there. And whether it be Michael Jackson or whether it be any of the Haitian bands I used to listen to, like T-Vice, it kind of just resonated with me. And growing up through that, like as they say, when Peter Parker lost Uncle Ben, when my grandpa was going through what he went through, like open heart surgery, and we saw the rise and decline of him. I found singing again in high school, my freshman year. And after that, it kind of just took off, and everything music I wanted to get into. And in college, I went to be classically trained, and I did many different choral things, a cappella groups, on and on and on. This goes on and on. And here I am trying to do everything, doing it all.
Yeah, well, you're doing it all very well. I've seen some of the collaborations that you've had. So tell my followers about your collaborations and the work that you've been doing lately. Because it has been, as they say, fire.
It has. I've worked with my uncle Jean-Va on a lot of different projects where we got to work with different artists from different places, from Europe to China. It's been a great experience to songwrite for different artists. Adam Wedd, we got to do Some Days from Abbey Road Studios. That was inspirational, in fact, because I was like, wow, I have a song in the UK, and what? My voice is heard over there? Like, this is wild. And
Yeah.
Some people may see it as small wins, but I see it as a major win because, it's getting exposure in some ways that people don't expect. They're going to be like, who's AQ the singer? Oh,
yeah,
that's him. All right.
Oh, definitely, man. It's like over here with the UK artists when they always say, like, can they crack America? Well,
Right.
and we never think about it from the other way. If anybody's trying to, like, crack into Europe, because we're like, why the hell do you want to come near us? Well, it's like we gave you ABBA. Learn from our mistakes. I jest, of course, to any ABBA fans.
Right.
Yeah. So I totally understand it. Like getting any kind of recognition. When I first had people from like America saying they wanted to come on my podcast, I'm like I say, I'm just a fat middle-aged white guy from Scotland. I'm like, what have I got to offer? And then it's like, oh, come on, and I'm like, nice one.
Right.
I'm cool with that.
Right.
Oh man, because the way you were describing yourself, like you could just like pick up kind of any instrument. Like, how many instruments do you play now? What?
I'd say my bread and butter is piano and guitar, whether it be classical guitar or acoustic. I've been finding a love for like some ukulele sometimes or some electric, but nothing beats the keys. I like to play some piano, and that's what I enjoy. You could catch a video of me just going freestyle and making something up on the spot. It's really where
I've always envied that, like because I did very basic kind of music like in high school and that, and what they all thought like, oh, you're brilliant, and I'm like, I'm not really. But and then I always envy people that could freestyle it, especially like on a musical instrument. I'm like, because that's a great knowledge of your instrument and a passion and and it just shows how in tune you are with your music. You'll know like when you're freestyling, like, oh, that didn't work.
Right.
That did.
Yeah.
There we go.
There it is.
Yep, there it is, my friend. So what was it like working with Abbey Roads? Because it was obviously it was over Zoom, wasn't it? Or like
yes, it was over Zoom, virtual, sending things back and forth, hearing ideas of things we should do, for what people hear on some days. They don't really hear the full thing of what I've done, but they've heard like a good majority, that has fit into the one little pot of spices that's been mixed together. Yeah. That's how music is. You take all the ingredients and you put what goes in, he takes what comes out, and then it creates a masterpiece at times. And it was a great process. It really inspired me to, work hard. And I was just recording in my living room, simple as that, and just doing it. Simple as that.
Well, just to record in your living room. In my case, I'm recording in my dining room. Well,
there
it's
we
the same deal. But where my kids eat their dinner, well, I am creating magic, my friend. Well, interviewing great people from all around the world. So, so you said, what, John was your uncle?
Yes, that is my uncle.
So what is it? What's it like? What's it like having that kind of shared experience with a family member, like to create things, like and essentially give things life for people, like us who want to hear what genuinely like awesome music?
I'd say it's a blessing first and foremost to have the chance to work with someone who is not only related to you but shares a chemistry with you with working with music. Because at first, I wasn't really aware of him actually doing music like that. I knew inklings of it, but when my grandpa had passed away, we did a little performance together for his wake, and it was a dance for my father, Luther Vandross. And he played the piano, I sang, and that was the start of what we did not even realize that we started something. And then we transitioned like 4, 5, I'd say 8 years later, about a decade almost. I'm doing my capstone for college, and I said, hey, Jean-Val, let's do this album for my school project. I'm gonna release this album. It's gonna be an album release party. We're gonna do it this way. And I tested him. I put him to the test, and me putting him to the test actually inspired him to actually go forward in his educational journey. And he is where he is now, and we're continuing to work on. And that's how journeys are made. You never know where the road may take you.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about like following your uncle to Berkeley?
I've thought about it. It's been a thought. If it's in my cars, I would not be opposed to doing that. Being through college, I was able to get my undergrad, my master's. I would be open to it.
Yeah.
Berkeley,
definitely,
if you're
man.
watching.
Yes, but Berkeley, if you are watching, what you already got Jonva, what train the next generation. That's what it's all about. Like you work the generational lines, like keep the product going.
Right.
Well, it's certainly like and I can see the kind of like the influences of style, like because you're both like into the keys, like you're both got like that kind of sound to you as well. But is there potential for future collaborations? What?
Always.
Yeah.
always.
Yeah. So who did the kind of reaching out for the Abbey Road stuff? Was it Jonva? Was it yourself? Was it a joint thing? Talk me through the process.
Man, it was a mix of a lot of different things. Like he would have something working up, he would ask me, come on, we would collaborate on Zoom. I do some edits here, I send it back to Abbey Road. Abbey Road has, a bunch of different amazing, talented producers, songwriters working on their end as well. And I mean, hey, like I said, it's an inspirational moment, a blessing to be able to work with other talented musicians as well. I mean, it's leaves me speechless sometimes when I think about it, but wow.
Yeah, no, wow. Definitely, man. It's a very envious. I'm very envious of the kind of stuff that you get to do. Like you're so creative. And I've seen the way I think as the kids say, it's what you spit on the mic. Well, not literally spit,
but not actually spit. Just
yeah. You don't just turn up and go.
Yeah, that's fire. You didn't know what? Sorry, 6 feet. My bad. But I found freestyle to be such a passion because I always used to sit back and just make up things off the spot, and it just be like boom, boom, boom. Like my brain just turned, just going. And I have had many instances. If you look at my record or videos, I've had moments even live. I do it in the house. I do it, so people can't be like, "Oh no, he can't do that." Oh no, he can. He can.
Yeah, he can. What? You definitely can, man. But when did you realize that you could like freestyle like that? Well, I mean, like my brain was always kind of like,
right.
That was like that with poetry. I could never, but I would have to take time and think, come up with and get my process down and work it. Well, people that could do it on the spot like that is to a beat is something that just blows my mind all the time. I mean, like guys like what you hear ones like Eminem, Dr. Dre, all like the kings of that kind of style. When did you realize you could do it?
I feel like I mean, even as a young boy, I feel like I always had the creativity to do it. I used to make random sounds and whatnot. I think growing up, actually realizing I had the ability to do it was kind of. I walked into guitar club in high school about sophomore and junior year, and they were just playing guitar, just playing something, and my brain just started I was like, wait, I could say this. And I just went with it, went with the vibe, with the melody. I wasn't trained at the time vocally like that, but I just knew, people knew, I had the inklings of being able to sing or rap, and it just came to me naturally. And I think it just comes from the influences of hearing music and understanding cadences and understanding what wordplay is and having a love for poetry, whether slam or spoken word. I mean, those things just came naturally. I think in that moment is when I realized, like, wow, I can make up things off the spot. I don't have to really try like that. And it's just like, I feel like the music speaks to me at times.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. Well, and it's like, I can see what a lot of Jonva in you as well. Like the way that he's come across, like you're both like you're both humble, like you don't like overly brag. You're very you're very proud of what you do, and you work very, very hard at it. Jonva's like a great influence to have anyway.
So definitely.
So I've got to ask, how do your parents feel about you spending so much time with your uncle?
I mean, no one's really opposed. I mean, it's kind of, when I was born, he was he's my godfather as well as my uncle. So, I mean, it's not really, a debate to be like, why are you talking about? I mean, it's more of just like understanding, like, hey, that's your uncle. He got you. Understand, you can talk, contact him at any moment, anytime. He's family, he loves you, you love him, if you got something going on, don't be afraid to, talk with him. And it's just always been that type of, chemistry, going from college to even being in the quote unquote, as, adults say now, the real world. I always seek for advice here and or there because, it's important, communication is important.
Yeah. So what is life like for you in the real world, AQ? Like, do Do you have the quote unquote like day job?
Yeah, I definitely do have the quote unquote day job, or jobs, as we say. I take my time. I work at a music store for the moment. And I also work remotely for an educational company by the name of Track. And I make videos for them for the kids to, learn new things such as music or business, things like that, teaching. And as well as that, I do my own podcast things. And I do a lot of different anime podcast things as well, and TikTok, and the list goes on and on. I mean, I'd say I had jobs. There we go.
Yeah, you definitely have the jobs, my friend. So tell my followers, like especially, what's your the podcast about, and where can they find them?
Well,
that's something falls in the background.
Yeah, somebody rang the doorbell, I believe, but.
Yep.
But
I'm on a podcast, man. Go away.
I'm on a podcast. Wait a minute. Wait a second. So what we have first and foremost, if you the podcast that I do is called Talks with AQ. We talk music, motivation, and a lot of different things. We interview artists, musicians, anybody, day life friends. I interview them and we have a talk, bringing them back as well. My other podcast I manage is Anna Monday 365. I talk a lot of different anime, superhero animation type things. And first and foremost, TikTok has been blowing up for the anime stuff. There's a video I made talking about Yu Yu Hakusho. I got like 36,000 views right now. And everything's coming up on the lookout. I do singing TikToks as well, and that's picking up. We're heading into the 2,000 follower mark. And you guys can find me, AQ the Singer, Anna Monday 365, or Inspired by AQ if you want motivation. We have merch, so.
Hey, well, I did notice the t-shirt. I was like, that is a cool design. Did you come up with the design yourself?
Yes, I did. I sure did. I'd say Inspired by AQ came prevalent during the pandemic, because in the 2 years when I didn't have jobs, I came straight out of college. I had got my master's, was able to apply for jobs, and I decided, okay, my grandmother said, you need to get on YouTube, do something, you have all this knowledge, creativity, put it to use. And I said, okay. I created YouTube Inspired by AQ, and I created basically like a 50+ video, each subsection, 3 days a week of reflections, motivations, giving people things that they can watch and feel refreshed about during these tough times.
Yeah.
And from that, it just kept going. And I've kind of had to halt it a little bit because I've had to do so much, but I'm definitely going to return with it. But the shirt just basically came from, this picture was from my graduation pictures, and I took it and I took Inspired by AQ, and there's a 23 on the back, which, stands for, 23 is one of my favorite numbers, basketball, I like basketball. But it just all comes together. It's really inspired. When you watch my videos, I want you to feel inspired, whether it be singing, whether it be me talking to you, feel inspired, feel motivated, feel good about yourself when you watch something of mine,
Yeah, definitely. But and I just love the fact that it was your gran that said, get on the YouTube. That's brilliant.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did.
That's like my gran, she's mid-80s now. And anytime that I'm with my friends, they're like, oh, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just texting my gran. And they're like, your gran knows how to work a mobile phone and can text. Yeah. And I'm like, yes. And she can text better than me because she actually uses punctuation.
And she has a YouTube channel. That's also the crazy thing. And she has a YouTube.
Oh, your gran's got a YouTube channel as well?
She has a YouTube channel, Memory's Corner. If you need healthy tips, nice.
I'm promoting the line. Why not?
Right. Why not?
I've got you. Let's get your gran promoted on here. Tell us where you can find your gran.
Memory's Corner. There we go. Follow on YouTube. Come on now.
Yeah. So
what's healthy tips? Go that.
Yeah, so it's like healthy eating, like food and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
Healthy eating, exercise, wellness, mental health. She don't talk to you. She's a mère for all, because in French, grand-mère means French. I mean, grand-mère not means French, but means grandma in French. So we call her mère. Memory's Corner is the name, and she's here to bring everybody together. Love. Makes everybody healthy and right, and healthy in your mind, physical, spiritual. That's the biggest thing.
I'll need to get her on the podcast as well, so I can hit the trifecta of your family.
Okay. All right.
The uncle, the nephew, the gran, whatever. Right, we've got it. We've got the mental ginger soul trilogy right there, my friends.
There we go.
Yeah. See, you're coming up with just great inspiration for like everything, like not just your own stuff, for my stuff as well.
Right.
That's fantastic. What and yeah, she's talking about like healthy in your body, healthy in your mind. It's a mental
Yeah.
health show. There we go.
Yes.
It
Yes,
works
mental
out.
health too. You know, and I say through this journey I've been going through, I was able to lose 100 pounds in the pandemic. So that's I say that's thanks to her. You know, she helped me be my nutritionist, giving me good advice, things that, you know, understand, you know, that even though we're going through these hard times, you know, you don't give up on yourself, and you don't give up on your health. You know, your health goes a long way, and it starts now. It doesn't start later, it starts now.
So you say like the tips that your gran gave you like for that as well don't only have the impact like on your body, but like your mental strength as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, nice one, man. Nice one. What type of stuff does she like? Does she do? Does she use like cognitive behavioral therapy? Is it just like attitude adjustments, or is it just a smack back and get your head out your ass, bang?
I'd say it's definitely a mix of a lot of things. You know, she definitely keeps me grounded, and you know, I would not mind kicking her with me on the road. You know, I come to my performance, because I mean, she inspired me when I was younger to keep going and don't make excuses. If you want to do something and you put your mind into it, don't make excuses. Go for the stars. You know, the world is your oyster, so you don't let anyone stop you.
Exactly. Well, and I could so see this being like an MTV series, like you, your uncle, and your gran in a van.
I definitely can see that.
Touring, going across America, performing. She does the wellness side of it as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, yeah.
I would tune into that. I would promote the hell out of that show.
Oh wow, yeah. Gotta make it happen.
It would have to make it it would have to be called it two man and a gran in a van.
2 man and a gran in a van. I love it.
That's a sponsorship deal right there. Like get on right there. Like whoever does like the motorhomes over in America, that's gold. That's absolutely
there it is.
Yeah. What can I say? I've warned everybody that I go on massive tangents on this show. And sometimes they're great, and sometimes they're like, what the hell? I think this was a great one.
That was a great one.
Definitely. Absolutely fantastic. So what is the future holding for you, AQ? Aside from the aforementioned series that I will try and get commissioned?
Oh right. I'd say what's next for me is this month is my last month being in my job, going in retail. I'm decided to take my talents to working more remotely, so it gives me more time, flexibility. It's a big decision, big step, just because I'm deciding I'm just stepping away from retail, and I'm deciding I want to take all the things that I'm doing and actually buckle down on them. I have an LLC already set up, which is Inspired by AQ Network LLC. I do a lot of video edits. I do a lot of podcasts, and everything. I do a lot. Live life, be happy 24/7. I edit for that, produce for
so you were the one that said what the producers run out of time here. Yes.
That's me. Yep, that's me. That's me. I'm just making this decision just because it's a big decision, and in order for me to get to where I want to be, it's time that I take everything I learned, my degrees, my knowledge, my creativity, and now just apply it. It's do or die right now. So that's where it is.
Definitely, man.
I
mean, you've probably seen as well, like for me going to set up like the Ginger Media. It's the same boat.
Oh yeah.
Like it's taking the knowledge and the skills that you've got, and going, well, I'm actually good at something. Let's try and knuckle down with this. So it's something that my kids can say, my dad does this, rather than being like, my dad works in a bank. Well, you can get a dime a dozen dads that work in a bank. You don't get dads that are like, he's got 3 podcasts, he's set up his own media company, and he's ginger.
Right, definitely. Right.
Yeah. Well, so one of the things we'll definitely need to get some collabs going on.
Oh yeah, definitely. Of course.
Well, it's the same like your uncle as well. I've got a lot of time for him, a lot of respect for him. Anything that he's doing, I try and help promote as long as he passes it on.
Definitely.
So the same to yourself, man. Like you've been a guest on the show now. Anything that you want to promote in the groups, in the channels or whatever, let me know. Put it in. You're part of it. You're part of the Ginger experience, my friend.
Thank you.
if I can get like the funding for Ginger Media Scotland set up, I will commission 2 man in a van with $1,000.
Oh man,
Well, I will get that. That is, I think that is gold.
that's a goal. That's definitely a goal. I'm
Well,
100% down. Yeah.
And he just have like a ginger albino coming a long way, just like that.
Right.
Filming everything. Well, I might just say that to my wife, like, Alison, yeah, I'm going to be going over to America for 6 months to live in a van with $1,000.
Right.
At first, I think she'd be over the moon. She'd be like, right, go, bye.
All right. All right. Go ahead.
She's like, you making the money? Yep. See ya.
All right. See ya.
Definitely. Oh, man. Well, you're such a great guy, man. Well, you're so chill.
Thank you.
What, you've got a great sense of humor about you. What you're, was it they say, like a dynamic go-getter, as like the really old white people say. He's a dynamic go-getter. He's up and coming. But no,
gotta go get him, son.
You're giving me a little boy. Oh, I was laying a
Little boy.
smack down on you.
Oh no, huh?
Yeah, that wasn't meant to be the racist like boy thing. That was just like, the second I said that.
Wait a minute, man.
Yeah, the second I said that, I went, oh shit. It was a quote from Family Guy. Like, it was like a guy that was basically going to beat Peter Griffin with a sack of oranges.
Oh yeah, Peter.
Yeah, that's what he said. You give me the boy. I'll lay the smack down on you. And then I was like,
right.
Oh crap! I got to know my audience, man.
Peter.
That's it. I'm holding iced tea.
There we go.
Oh man. But seriously, yeah. But yeah, you're a really, really cool guy, and I wish you nothing but success.
Oh man, thank you.
But of course, I will. If you get the success I don't, I'll be the weird nerdy guy hanging on your coattails. I'll be fine.
Hey, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm cool with that, man. Well, I have no morals. I'm okay with it.
Right. You know?
So we are starting to come up on time. So
okay,
I mean, I know that you're probably like used to be in the producer side going wrap it up. Mine's is just
yeah, you know, I'm usually it's time. You know,
my producer is just Zoom going like you're gonna run out on your free plan.
Yeah, going for free. You know, we don't have the premium idea here. Okay, it's not cheap. Okay.
Exactly, like you know, we got to make those costs like any way that we can, my friend. Well, that's all about the hustle.
Yeah, the hustle. Come on, Tony. It's not no time yet. We gotta get off the zone.
I'm just instantly thinking of like every gangster movie I've ever seen right now. And it's like, you come to me and you ask me to kill a man I do not know. Why should I kill this cow chocula?
Right.
Again, another Family Guy one.
Yep. Another one.
Yep. Right. So what I would say, what is your favorite gangster movie? Since we are quoting gangster stuff.
Oh, favorite gangster movie. Whew. I say my favorite, man. Scarface.
Oh, nice. Mine's to say Godfather Part. Mine's is Godfather Part 2.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Well, it's one of the rare sequels that tops the original in my eyes.
Oh yeah, definitely so. Yeah, it's hard It's hard for a sequel to overcome the first one.
Yeah, especially when the first one was so good. And you looked at the cast and you're like, how are they going to top this? And it's like, now, and then you're like, okay,
all right,
you did it. I respect that.
They did that.
What anything that has like Al Pacino and Robert De Niro in the same film, but not directly interacting with each other, is still good.
Right.
Definitely.
Still.
Well, it is stone cold, my friend.
I agree.
So we will round off the podcast by me asking you the question I ask all my guests. If you could give one piece of advice to anybody suffering with mental health issues at this point in time, what would that piece of advice be and why?
All right. Well, I would say, you know, one piece of advice is don't be afraid to talk about it. I feel like a lot of times we feel hesitant to, you know, say our feelings, and, you know, we get caught to, you know, all of the foolishness and everything happening around us that we just forget to talk about it, and we hold it in until we self-destruct. You know, we see these things like, for example, you see the Will Smith and, you know, Chris Rock thing. Will Smith self-destructed, and somebody got hit. The result of that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Don't hold on to things. Don't act like everything's okay. It's okay to talk about it. And if you're able to express yourself and you're able to take time to write things down and just really think about it, then you can become the master of your own life. Don't hold it in. Don't let it explode.
Definitely, man. What good advice. Well, I don't think I've had a guest where they've never had good advice. So we seem to be doing all right as a society right now. We seem to be getting there with the mental health side of it.
Yeah.
Well, I think there was only one guest. I can't remember specifically who, but they said it, and I was like, "Yeah, it's all right." And I got off air, and I got off air, and I was like, "Mate, if I recommend that to someone, they would jump off a fucking bridge." I was like, "Seriously, man, well, I'll keep it in." It was like it's like someone hitting the gong and the gong show, just like boom, boom. No.
Hey, it's time to cut the show. No.
It's like do you ever watch Futurama when Hermes was going to jump off the building and Bender went to do a flip?
Yeah.
That was the equivalent of that.
Oh no.
It was like, what would that piece of advice be? Well, if you're going to kill yourself, make sure you do it right. Essentially that. Along those type of lines, I was like, fuck me, man.
I was like, oh no.
As that, you say that to around someone who has suicidal ideation, who constantly thinks about killing themselves but doesn't have the guts to do it. I'm like, right. Come on. Know your audience, man.
No, please.
Oh, man.
It's a mental ginger show.
Yes. But it's literally in the title. I'm ginger and I have mental health issues. But it is the Ron Seal of titles.
That's the name.
Yeah. So quickly tell everybody where's the best places they can find you in the socials, AQ. Sell it, my friend. Sell it.
Sheesh. You can find me, AQ the Singer official, IG, AQ the Singer Facebook, AQ the Singer everywhere, inspired by AQ and the Monday 365. Find all of those. You find me. I'm everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I'm everywhere. I'm really everywhere. Music too. Music.
Definitely. Well, and make sure to send me the links as well. I will put the links in, and I'll put the links in the description below so you can follow on all the socials. Because as you have guessed, not only is he talented, he is one funny motherfucker. You should really do stand-up.
There we go. Right?
Well, you should really do stand-up. Like honestly, you've got such a great wit about you. If they don't want you doing it in America, come over to Britain. We'd love you.
All right. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Yeah, definitely, man. So to AQ, it's been so fantastic to have you on. I really appreciate you taking your time to speak to this humble ginger.
It's an honor. It's an honor.
Yeah, really thanks, man. Definitely, I can see a lot of the potential in you, and if you're even like 3/4 of the way, like the way your uncle is, like you are going to be on to greatness, my friend. I can see that.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I mean it, man. It's the stuff that I see that you do. It's really inspiring. You're so damn talented. You've got a lot of untapped potential still. And it'll be fantastic. And I hope, and I'll be one of the wee fanboys going, I know him.
Oh yeah.
You'll just see me turn up at a gig one day, just hold up a sign saying like, AQ.
Yeah.
Just a picture of me like
that. All right.
Yeah. So until next time, my faithful followers.
Until next time.
I've been Andrew Durnan. This has been the brilliant AQ the Singer. Check him out on all the socials. That will be in the link in the description below. This guy really is, as the kids say, fire.
Fire. So follow that time. Mental Ginger Show now.
Yeah. But help me to help you.
Yes.
That's the point. So until next time, everybody, take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.